Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a quick overview, probably not so quick, probably about 15-20 minutes to watch. This will be a recap of the seminar. I'm really sorry if you're hoping we're going to film it as that was a plan, but unfortunately we forgot to press the record button. I'm going to blame Mitch, but no one's blaming anyone. So if you want to watch this, you can be a recap of the seminar, or obviously if you didn't come, please make sure you watch this. I'll just keep looking at my phone because I can't remember everything that we talked about and just kind of go over that. The first thing that we covered was why we're running the seminar. We're running it just because we really wanted to get some education across to you guys, talk to you about and give you an understanding of nutrition and exercise, why we train the way that we do, and what certain training does for the body, and the types of food we should be eating, obviously to help complement our training, but also to help get us the results that we're after. So to go over that, two was to have a discussion over any of the feedback that we've got and go answer any questions that anybody had or wanted to talk about. And obviously, it just being a new year, we really wanted to get everybody fired up and excited to train and to eat well and to feel good and to kind of just get the scene kind of going. We started the seminar with answering 4 questions, which I loved. We got everyone to stand up and go to either side of the room. So question number 1 that we asked was, do you prefer cardio or do you prefer strength? Number 2 was, do you have an injury or do you not have an injury? Number 3 was, are you someone that is kind of like motivated or interested in having a goal versus someone who's not? Like, do you have a goal? Do you not have a goal? Do you find that you want to have a goal, or you're not motivated by a goal? And the 4th question is, do you train to look good or feel good? And I know some of them could be an even par, but generally we find that there is an even split. And it was really great for everybody inside the seminar. We had about 45 people to see how different everybody is. And the reason we wanted to do that was for you guys to have an understanding of everybody likes different things, and although we might find as an individual things that we value really highly or we are really important to us and not necessarily important to somebody else, and sometimes when it's such a high value to us, we can't actually understand that for somebody else that's not the same. And we really wanted people to see that. So although someone might say to us, well, I hate strength, therefore everybody hates strength, well, they don't. Lots of people love cardio and lots of people love strength, and there's no right or wrong. No one's right or no one's wrong. It is just about individual preference about certain things. So, sorry, my computer's now stuffing up. Give me one moment. Here we go. So, yeah, we did that. That was really great. So, hopefully you're thinking about those questions well and where you kind of sit, and I can guarantee that everyone is quite different. Then what we went through, which like I've said before, a lot of people that have done the challenge would have heard some of this stuff that we've talked about before, but it's a good recap. But also, if you haven't done the challenge, you probably have never heard of these things before from us. So when we talk about both training and food as being multifaceted, and when we talk about this, what we're saying is that things are ever changing, both like lifestyle, your life is different to somebody else's. So not only is your life different to somebody else's, but even your life alone is different to what it was 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And what you do with training and nutrition has to suit you and your lifestyle. If you try to do something that doesn't work for you, the thing that you can't do is you can't be consistent with it, and you can't adhere to it. If you can't do either of those things, it doesn't matter what you're doing, even if you're following the best program in the world, both training wise and food wise, if you can't adhere to it and you're not consistent with it, you will not get the results. So it doesn't really matter necessarily so much about what you're following versus the fact that you can adhere to it. So just say you pick to do something and it works for you for 6 months and you're really loving it. It might be, I don't know, a certain way that maybe you're just having lunch and dinner, and you don't eat till 12 o'clock and it's really working for you, getting results, you're really enjoying, you've got lots of energy, blah, blah. All of a sudden, you're like, I can't do this anymore. You're waking up and like 7 o'clock in the morning, you're starving. And all of a sudden then you start to eat really bad by 10 o'clock and you have another meal and you have another meal because your body, you're thinking about these things. So versus making better choices, you're not making a whole lot of worse ones because it's not working for you. So even if it worked for you for 6 months and it's now not, it means that something has to change. So it's always changing and there's lots of different facets to it, and knowing that you need to suit your lifestyle is the most important thing. So there's not a one size fits all, but there is the right information that you need, and then being able to make that fit into your lifestyle. Number 2, we talked about like commitment and knowing that although you may not always love what you do, you need to try to love and enjoy the progress and the process versus necessarily trying to, I don't know, love, we'll say like, for example, like loving the session. You can't love every single session that you do, because sometimes what we need to get out of that session is more important than the fact that you may actually enjoy it. And you need to make that commitment to yourself and that dedication to yourself and that discipline to yourself that you're going to do this for the end outcome, and you're enjoying the process of getting fitter and stronger and leaner and just better and feeling better and all those things that come along with it. So making sure that that you're enjoying it, but also that sometimes it will be slightly uncomfortable and not always enjoyable, but the actual end result of the outcome of that session is always enjoyable. I said a comment to everyone, and I said, do you sometimes turn your alarm off and regret the workout? You set your alarm off and don't go to the gym, and then do you regret not getting up? And everybody said yes. And I said, do you ever come into the gym and then regret training? And the answer is no. So the thing is, you're never going to regret the workout you did. You're only ever going to regret the workout you didn't do. I would say that 99% of the time everybody walks out of here feeling better than when they walked in. So that's the thing that you're focusing on. So it's not necessarily about the particular session, it's about the end outcome of that session and how great you feel after that. And that's what we train for, and that's why we do things, because it makes us feel so much better. I'm sorry, just scoping this up. Because you get better mood, better sleep, but you'll end up eating better, you'll make better choices. All those things will come from being consistent and being disciplined enough just to get through the door and come in here, versus necessarily what you do when you get in here. So I hope that made a little bit of sense, which I kind of covered there as well. We did commitment and we did enjoy it. I kind of enjoying the process, and I joined them together. So we just talked about, obviously making sure that you enjoy the progress and the process, and giving yourself like little high fives every time you achieve something. That doesn't mean that you're necessarily achieving a PB. What that means is that you are giving yourself a little high five because you came to the gym 3 days this week, or that you came to a 5:45 session when you didn't want to get up. They are little wins. Focus on those little wins versus necessarily focusing on the fact that you maybe didn't do the best workout that you could have done that day. It doesn't matter. The fact that you're consistently coming, that is what matters, and eventually it will pay off, but you have to be consistent with it. Now the next bit is the main bit of information. I just want to get those things in there so you guys have it in your head, that we want to change your mindset around why we're training and what we're doing it for, and then I want you to really understand a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about next. So try and be in a focused headspace right now, because I really want you to get what I'm about to talk about now. What I'm going to talk about now, I'm going to post a photo, because I don't know if this will be backwards or how this will look, but this is our total daily energy expenditure. So every single day our body burns a certain amount of calories based on our movement throughout that day. So our biggest amount of calories throughout our day are burnt through your BMR, so your resting metabolic rate, which is what your body burns while you're sleeping. So this is because we've got muscle in our body, this is because our body pumps blood around to our organs, and our body uses energy just to survive. This is what your BMR is. Next up is your NEAT, and that's your unplanned movement. So that could be, going up and down the stairs at work, that could be just walking around your house, it could be driving your car. It's unplanned movement. Obviously, I still count this as if you go for a walk or you plan to walk at lunchtime. Technically, that is planned exercise, but that trying to walk to the train station instead of driving your car, walking to the shops instead of driving the car, things like that. Your TEF, now this is one that people sometimes don't know is a thing, but when we physically eat food, our body actually breaks down and burns calories, which is awesome. And there's certain foods that use up more energy, and that one is protein. So when we eat protein, not only do we need protein, as you guys always hear about, that we need protein, obviously we build muscle, we need protein to feel fuller, but protein also burns the most amount of calories when we're eating it as well. So it's that's why we harp on so much about protein. But even any food that you eat, your body does actually use energy to do that. And the smallest amount in our day, obviously will vary from person to person, but the smallest amount that actually is burnt in our day is our EAT, which is our planned exercise. And the reason why this, even though, you might burn, the best way to explain it is like on my watch, for example, a lot of people have a watch. Just say for your day you burn 1,000 calories, but you burn a 400 calorie workout. Well, there's 600 calories left over that has just been made up of the rest of your day. So even though you burnt 400 calories in that workout, you burnt 600 extra calories just by moving. So that's why your NEAT and your other movement is so important. The reason why I really want to explain this and be really clear about this is, even though this is your biggest part of your movement, biggest part of burning your calories, this contributes to this. So our planned exercise, as we build more muscle, as we do more strength, as we get stronger and leaner and have more muscle, this increases our resting metabolic rate. So if I had no one has no muscle, but if I had limited muscle, my resting metabolic rate might be 1,200. I come to the gym consistently, I continually get stronger, I build up my muscle, I increase my muscle tissue. I go from 1,200 calories at a resting metabolic rate to 14 or 1,600 calories at a resting metabolic rate. So even though I haven't changed, I'm still eating the same amount of food, I'm still training the same intensity, but now I've got 400 extra calories a day my body is burning. I'm now going to be at a greater deficit, therefore I'm going to lose more fat because nothing's changed, but I'm now up 400 calories a day. 4 times 7 is what's 2,800 calories. So 2,800 calories extra a week I'm burning just because I built more muscle. Now those numbers aren't necessarily exact, but understanding from someone who's gone from 0 muscles to then have a large amount of muscles, this resting metabolic rate is much, much greater. So this is why what we burn throughout our day is so important. And this is why strength training, is the main thing I want to talk about, is so unbelievably important. Hurt my arm. So important because the more muscle that we have, the higher our resting metabolic rate is. So that's why we do our strength training. And what we tried to talk about in the seminar and explain to everybody was, that's probably one of the things we got a bit of feedback about, was sometimes that the strength training can be slightly boring. And we are modifying that and we've heard you, and we're trying to change that for everybody and slightly change the timing and add in a few different exercises. But as we explained to so many people, by understanding this, the reason why we do a lot of the same exercises, like your deadlift, your back squat, your bench press, your overhead press, is because those particular movements manage to build the most amount of muscle the most effective way. So although I could give you 15 different little glute exercises, doing a deadlift is going to be the best possible way to build that muscle all through our posterior chain, so all through the back of our body. That deadlift is going to be more beneficial than me doing a kickback with a cable. They all add to it, but the reason why we do all of the same stuff is because that's been tried and proven for the last 50 years doing that same thing. So we could add in all these different things, but we're trying to get you the best result possible. Even if your goal is to just come into the gym, we still want to make sure everybody is getting the best results possible. And by understanding this, we're hoping that gives you guys more of an insight of why sometimes strength can feel quite repetitive and boring. And going back to what I just said before about enjoying the process versus enjoying the session. So being like, holy shit, I'm getting so much better at my deadlift, or I'm managing to lift more reps or more weight, or I'm seeing change in my body. That's what we want you to focus on versus being like, the session. Rather than fixate on the session, focus on how much we can improve that. So that was one of the things that we went over. The other thing, just on that, so I can make sure, putting my neat perfect, is just understanding nutrition as well. So I just talked about what your body burns throughout your day. So obviously we burn calories, but we also obviously eat calories and therefore consume calories. So just getting you guys to understand why calories are so important. So these are two different, I don't know what this looks like, but I'll post these below. They're pretty much, they're 1,790, so let's say 1,800 calories. So you've got 1,800 calories on this side and 1,800 calories on this side. This is 4 eggs, 2 pieces of bread, some spinach, some avocado. This is steak and sweet potato. This is spaghetti bolognese, and this is still a chocolate in here. So you've got protein in each one of these meals. You've got good micro and macronutrients, so like a whole lot of different nutrients that we need for our body. We've got good fats, we've got carbs, we've got protein, and we also have chocolate to satisfy what we need. On this side here, you have a chocolate bar. This is a full-size chocolate bar. One particular, it's a Krispy Kreme donut, I think I did. Yeah, Krispy Kreme donut and Macca's chips. So on this side, I don't know, I mean, there could be a slight amount of protein in the donut, I don't know what it's made of, and maybe a small amount in the potato, not very much, I think there's very small amounts of potatoes. But understanding that if your calories, if you were able to consume, so just say throughout your day, you burnt 2,000 calories overall. So all of these things came together. So throughout your day, based on what you burn at rest, what you've trained, everything you've done, you burn 2,000 calories for the day. And just say your maintenance is 3 burning per day, and now we're eating 800. So every single day we're at a 200 calorie deficit. So right now we're at a 200 calorie deficit. Regardless of if you eat this side or this side, you will lose fat. Because over your week you're at 200 calories deficit per day. That's times 7, so 7 days in a week means 1,400 calories. So by the end of every week, if you stuck to your 800 calories, you're at a 1,400 calorie deficit every single week. Therefore, we're going to start to lose fat. The difference is, so the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not saying to go and eat this, but what I'm trying to explain here with this is that how important calories are. So at the end of the day, unless there's an underlying health issue, you will lose body fat, if that is your goal, if you are sitting at a calorie deficit, even if you're eating shit. The difference is, what I said at the start, adherence, consistency. You cannot adhere to this because you will, 1, be hungry, 2, be extremely tired, 3, be in a really shit headspace, more likely to make shit choices, 4 have absolutely no energy to train at the gym and no protein or no ability to really build muscle. Okay, so you're going to be in a situation, although you can still lose body fat, will the results be the same? Most likely not. I can't 100% know that, but the difference is, can you adhere to this? Probably not. Can you adhere to this? Yes. Could you eat a piece of chocolate every single day and still get results? Yes. So just understanding how much calories impact you. Now, if you're asking me, you know, how many calories you burn in a day, I don't know. Nobody knows. We have a rough estimation by doing a body scan. We can do a body scan and they come up with multiple different calculations and put the average together the best possible way, but it doesn't mean it's 100% accurate. The one thing we do know for certain is what we put into our mouth. So we could say, work it out and say, throughout my day, I'm putting in 1900 calories. So I know that for certain. If I'm basing it on my watch or in my head what I'm kind of burning throughout my day, I know I'm eating 900 calories. And this I keep every once a week. On the Monday, I step on the scales and I'm going on I'm slowly increasing my weight. Therefore, I know that if I'm eating and consuming 1900 calories and I'm slowly putting on weight, then I am not at a deficit. I am at a surplus, which means my body is not burning 1900 calories. So my 2 options that I have is my goal is to lose fat loss. And the reason I'm talking about fat loss more than anything is 1, to have something to gauge off, but 2 is our majority of our members, is we want to be at a deficit. So we've got 2 options. 1, I can eat a little bit less food because I'm eating 1900. I can eat a little bit less, go to 1800, sit and do the exact same thing and see if I stay the same or if I'm still increasing. If I'm still increasing, again, I'm still not over deficit. If I'm staying the same, I'm most likely at maintenance. Go down to 1700, or I can move more. That movement could include actually more NEAT, just more movement around throughout my day, going for walks, getting my steps up. That could also include actual planned exercise, getting to the gym more often. Or 3, making sure when we're in the gym that we're doing our strength training, we're building our muscles, so therefore our resting metabolic rate is naturally increasing even though nothing else is really changing. So, or you can do both. So just say 1900 wasn't working, we go down to 1700 and we increase our movement, and all of a sudden we see that shift and we're now going to be at a deficit. I really hope that makes sense. Obviously you can comment below on this post and ask me any questions at all about any of this that I'm going through, because I do really want you guys to have a good understanding of this. Then what I want to go through just quickly with that, I'm just trying to look at the notes, is fat, protein and carbohydrates. So obviously we have macronutrients, which is fat, protein and carbs. I think most of you have heard of that before. And our micronutrients are all that vitamin B's, C's, D's, B12s, all the different things that we need. We get them from a mixture of foods. So obviously having fruits, having vegetables, having meats, having carbohydrates, having a variety of food is going to get you the best possible diet, because everything has good and bad in it, and everything has things that we do we need. So trying to cut out a particular food group is not the way to go. Fats are things like our avocados, our fishes, our nuts, our seeds, our oils, all of those things. Our carbohydrates, your pastas, your lentils, your rices, your breads, all of those things, and then also obviously vegetables are carbohydrates as well, and fruits. And then your protein is obviously all your animal and meat products, as well as things like your tofu, your beans, your lentils. Now, we talk about protein and why that's so important. Obviously, fats and carbohydrates are extremely important as well, but if we can at least get most of our, always get our protein in, and the rest of our diet can be made up of fats and carbohydrates, you can pick what best suits your lifestyle as long as we sit with inside our calories. But generally, find if we eat enough protein, it keeps us the fullest for longest. Millie, who won our challenge, was in the seminar, and I used her as an example. Millie, before the challenge, was under eating in her protein, and she found every day she was eating probably a block of chocolate in the afternoon into the night, and she lost 7 kilos over the 8 weeks, which is quite a significant amount. And the only real change, obviously she was training hard, but she was already coming in and training hard. The difference for her was that she started to eat a lot more protein, and she was so much fuller and more satisfied that she just stopped eating that chocolate. So what happened was, she was not only at a calorie deficit, but her body was also burning more while she was eating that protein. She was able to build more muscle because she was getting enough protein, and she was satiated and satisfied by that protein. So really important that you start your meal, and we always suggest start your meal with a protein, make sure there's protein in that meal, and then add your carbs and fats to that source. Again, if you've got any questions about that, please ask me below. The last one I want to talk about though is this one here, the last main bit. Here is your weekend ruling your results. Again, I'll post this photo below. What we've got here is your weekend ruling results here. So, as I said before, this is someone's maintenance. So this little person here is called Sarah. This is her maintenance line. Like I said, if someone they burn 2,000 calories a day. So they burn 2,000 calories a day. So they want to lose body fat. Every day, they're eating 1,800 calories. So 1,792, so say 1,800 calories every day. Therefore, they're at a deficit. Every day, they're below that line. But then on the weekends, they go out and they overindulge. They drink, they eat, they do all of these things. You then, it's not about the day, you then add all of these up and divide it by 7. Gives you a total of 2,250. So now, rather than being, even though she was at a deficit for 4 days, over that 7-day period, she's actually at a surplus of 250 calories a day. If you then times 250 times 7, I don't know what that is, 250 times 4 is 1,000 plus 3 is what's that, 750? And if 700, is that right? 750 calories an extra for the whole week. It is a significant amount. So understanding that your weekend definitely has an impact on that. And it's not saying not go out and not have fun, but it's about understanding that like it makes a difference. It is your over a week. So it might be that Monday to Friday you eat your food and be quite a deficit rather than maybe 1,790, maybe you're at 1,700. So again, you're now over another 100 over those 5 days, which is now 500, even less than what you were doing. And you might have a light lunch and have a really nice dinner. Have some glasses of wine, enjoy your dinner, and then back Sunday being back to your normal healthy food. Now, again, it also is about having food that you enjoy. Your week shan't be chicken and broccoli and boring. They need to be foods that you love. You can eat pasta every day. You can eat rice every day. You can eat chicken stir fries every day. You can make yourself chocolate every night. You can have foods that you enjoy. Food does not have to be boring. It can be exciting and enjoyable. You can make yourself chicken wraps. You can make yourself stir fries. You can make yourself butter chicken. You know what I mean? Like anything that you love and you enjoy, you can have that, but you just got to figure out your portion sizes, making sure you're getting in enough protein and fitting inside those calories. As Darth said at the seminar as well, we're not asking everybody to count calories, but you do need to have an understanding, and he used a really great analogy saying that you understand your money that comes in and out every single week. You need to be understanding the same thing with your food. You need to know what goes in and what comes out. So if you're constantly you're constantly putting on body fat, it's because you're overeating and under moving. It's as simple as that, unless there is an underlying health condition. But generally, that might be 10% of the population, and the other 90% are just overeating and under moving. So I really hope that makes a little bit of sense to you guys. The last thing on that is just understanding alcohol and the effects of alcohol. So just understanding that alcohol, although itself does have calories, so when you are consuming alcohol, absolutely you are putting calories into your body. But the issue that happens with alcohol, it almost is like a fat burning blocker. It stops your body from burning fat. Your body will start to break down your fats, protein and carbohydrates slower or not even at all until your alcohol is out of your system. So your body will break down that alcohol. Once the alcohol is out of the system, the rest of the body will start to, the rest of the foods will then start to be broken down. So if you then ate Macca's and bad food as well after you had a big night out, not only are you not burning those calories, you've consumed calories from the alcohol, and then you've eaten more calories from other food that you're then not burning. So it is so detrimental, especially if you're drinking alcohol Monday to Friday, just at night time, whether it's 1 drink or 2 drinks. You need to stop telling yourself that that's okay because everybody else is doing it, because it's not okay. The same way that if you were to smoke a joint or shoot up a bit of heroin or take a pill or do some cocaine, alcohol is a drug. The difference is the government makes money from it and a large amount of tax from it. So it's still poison, it's still extremely bad for your body, but for some weird reason we allow that to be seen as okay when it is actually not okay. I'm not saying that I don't drink it on the weekends. I might have a big night here or there and we can do that, but don't just think to yourself that it's okay to be having 2 to 3 or 4 glasses a night and it's completely fine. It is quite bad for you. It is a poison. It's not great for your body. Obviously, if there's any kind of marketing around the fact that you get antioxidants and stuff like that, you need about 6 bottles to even get remotely the amount of antioxidants that you can get from blueberries. So it's full of shit. You do not need it. I know it's a bit of a stress diffuser for a lot of people. Instead, sit down, get yourself a glass, fill it with some sparkling water, and sit there and sip on it and enjoy it. It's more the downtime and what you're associating with an alcohol than the actual alcohol. And if you ask any single person that used to drink a lot of alcohol and now don't, the difference that they feel is significant. So absolutely, you've got events on, you've got a night out for dinner, you've got something on, absolutely go and enjoy yourself, but please don't justify sitting at home by yourself or with your partner having 2 glasses a night every single night, because it is detrimental in more ways than none, not only for obviously our weight gain, but also for our health. So please, I'm crazy about it, but just really try. If you're someone that does do that and needs some help with that, let me give you some pointers. But yeah, just don't just fight in your head to think that it's completely okay, because I think that you'll feel so much better if you stopped it. So no alcohol, thank you. And we went over a bit of a meal plan. I don't have any of the stuff with me. We went over just like an 1,800 calorie meal plan that you can have for the day. So literally, look like this. So pretty much the same thing. Was 2 pieces, was 2 eggs and 2 pieces of toast with some bacon, with some steak and 400 grams of veggies, and was pasta and mince. And we showed everybody the portion sizes, and it was huge for 1,800 calories. So you can eat a large amount of food and foods that you enjoy. It's about being clever, not about being silly, because obviously high fat foods or like bad trans fat food are so much higher in calories, versus if you actually eat smart, you can fit in so much food into your calories. So a bit hard for me to show that, but if you want any help with that, obviously I'm here to help you. And the last thing we kind of went over was just going over just some of the feedback that we got from everybody. Some a few that we got were about the strength training, which I obviously talked about before, and said we are going to make some changes with that. We're going to change the timing of those things, try and add a little bit more exercises, some variation in there, because we want you guys to obviously enjoy it, but we really hope that that made sense to you and you really get why it's important to do the same progressive overload with strength training and having some kind of periodization, because without it we actually don't get the results that we need. So I really hope that really resonated with you guys. Someone did say the 5 a.m. session, unfortunately it's just at the moment it's not something we can add in there, just because of timing, and we're already up at 4:30 in the morning, probably asking the coaches to get up at 3:45 or 4 a.m. is probably a bit unfair. So for now, a 5 a.m. session is not something we're going to do. Obviously our boxing session for now, we did discuss it because we really got a lot of feedback about some core and some mobility, about a lot of core stuff, and we know the importance of that. We've just been trying probably for a good 8 to 12 months to figure out how we fit that core into the session, and so we're going to do a 6:45 a.m. core session on a Tuesday morning instead of the boxing. And we want you guys to come so badly, because we want to teach you guys things. And with that session, you don't have to come for the whole session. You might finish at 5:45, come do core for 15-20 minutes, as long as you can stay before you go to work. Or those that are coming at 7 a.m. can either come at 7 or come at 6:45 in the morning, and do some of that core. And the more stuff we learn from that, we're going to try to implement that into the sessions. We need you guys to get a really good understanding. We think it'll be a really great session. We've also got a Sunday morning for 6 weeks. Kerry is going to do like a recovery session with like core and mobility as well on a Sunday. That is now available. Both those sessions are now available to book online. So want to trial them and test them out. That's kind of what you guys, a lot of people ask for, and would love to see how they go. If they're great and you love them, we'll add more to the timetable. We need to see that you guys are coming to them and that you enjoy them, and then we can add more of those to the timetable. Then some of the feedback that we got that we loved, we thought was a really great idea. A member suggested a cash out. Now, some people might have heard of that, some people may have not. A cash out is just almost like a finisher, like an extra bit of a workout that we can add in there. It means that we'll do, for example, our entire strength training session, and then at the end of the session, like you'd finish your session at 6:42 or 6:43, and might have a cash out. It might be a 2K run for time. It could be 500 meter row, 500 meter run, 500 meter burpee, 5 burpees. Something like that we just have at the end that you do, and you can choose to do that or not. But it's rather than sit on the bike. Some people will be sitting on the bike or going for a run or doing something afterwards. It's a good little finisher to do, and we thought that was a great idea. Number 2, a few people suggested using our Boss Facebook page to getting workouts that they could come in and do on Sunday, or workouts if they've got to come to the gym on their own, recipes and meals and stuff like that. So you want to see Bridge over the last week or so, she's been putting in some recipes, so we'll have different recipe once a week that you guys can use that we've all tried before. We're going to try and do a workout of the week or an exercise, like a little bit of a little circuit if you need to come in here, that you could then jump on there and grab. In the Boss Family page, there'll be a tab that's called Guides. You'll click on Guides, there'll be like a workout guide, there'll be a recipe guide, and there'll be like an events guide. So you can literally click on the guide that says workouts and scroll through and see all the workouts that we post. Same with the recipes, scroll through and see all the recipes. So we thought that was a really great idea. And the third one was obviously adding the mobility and core sessions, which we're doing. So we really appreciate all of the feedback. It was great, and we hope that we can obviously accommodate for as much as we can. If we did miss something, please, if you can comment below, or feel free to send me a text or give me a call and we can go through it as well. I hope that all makes a lot of sense to you guys. Actually, there was one last thing. One person did ask about the Boss Open and why that incurs an additional fee. And I said in the seminar, I do hate that we have to justify it, but I understand at the moment things are a bit tough and we do need to. We try really, really hard to obviously include as many things as we can inside your membership. The membership does obviously cover you guys coming to the gym, the awesome trainers that you have, and as I reiterated on the night of the challenge, like the trainers that you guys have are 10 to none. They are so great, they care so much, and you have such an awesome team supporting you. But obviously your membership covers those coaches coaching you, the sessions that you do, the ability to come and use the gym whenever you want to, all of your sessions that you've got, and then we keep trying to do, obviously we have our members week, we have our little team competitions, we had our 4-week winter wellness where you're in teams of 4 and you that was all included. We've done our stuff obviously over COVID and through the weeks we've done our running comps with all our different teams, and we had our bike comps with all the different teams, and all those things we do as much as we can for free. But with this particular event, obviously all the coaches themselves need to be paid for those hours that they're going to be judging, and then all the prizes that we're going to do for the day, we're going to put on a barbecue, all the food we're going to buy, so all that kind of stuff. So and we've got 20 or 30 people doing it. We just didn't want to be in arrears for it, but more than anything, I've done these for years, as in myself. I used to join in these back in the day, a good 8 years ago, and was paying $80 to $100 per competition that I joined, and never even questioned or thought about it, because it was just I was paying for the event that I was doing. I was really excited to get involved. All we're asking for is $30 so we can cover the prizes more than anything, because it would be like a winner, and it's a lot of fun for the day, and we've got to plan around it and stuff like that. That's the only reason why there's a cost to it. And also, I guess, committing to something and having cost for something means you're going to try and maybe train a little bit more, work towards it, but the aim of it is, one, it's not meant to be daunting. It will be actually easier than a normal Saturday session. So please, if you are thinking about doing it, it's not going to be as hard as a normal Saturday session. Some of the there's 5 little events that we do, and the top 3 will go through to little final, and we all want to stand around and encourage everybody and have this awesome morale and it's funness at the gym. So even if you don't do it, we'd love to see you guys come in here and just get around everybody. Come in for the morning, get an egg and bacon roll, really get around everybody and have heaps of fun. But yeah, 3 of them will take you, less than one will be less than probably a minute. Another one might be 2 or 3 minutes. They're quite short, and there's one that's a little bit longer. So, but it's just about having fun. It is not daunting. They're actually events that everybody can do. And we really want to see as many people get involved as you can, because it'd just be a really fun morning, and there's no Saturday session that morning. So yeah, if you haven't jumped on, please do that. And also, guys, if you don't want to do the open but do want to be in a team, it's just 10 minutes. Let me know and we'll put you in a team, because we've only got 2 teams at the moment, and obviously therefore we've got a first and a second. It'd be nice to get maybe 5 teams. It's 10 minutes of your morning, and that'll probably be between 9:15 and 9:30, and then you'll be done for the morning. So yeah, would really love to see everyone jump on board and get amongst these, because we'd love to run one every year, and I just want you guys to see how fun it is and how great it is. So anyway, I hope that was a bit of help. I hope you guys understood a lot about food, calories, protein, the importance of training and why we train, and of course any questions. Obviously this is half the time, so I've only really kind of touched on each thing. There's a lot more information out there. If you need help, please ask me, Das, Coop, Mitch, Bridge, and talk to us. Comment below, we can answer any questions. I really hope that that was a little bit helpful, and obviously if you've missed any kind of feedback that we did, please comment below or shoot me a text, and hopefully we can touch base on that and get it sorted for you. Anyway, I love you all, I appreciate you all, and I really hope that you got something out of that. Alright, love you, bye.